Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be, it's your vibe, not your looks. Well, I've got an email here from a guy, young guy, he's 23, he even sent a picture in because he's convinced himself that he's ugly and unattractive to women. And he just looks like an average dude. He looks like he's in decent shape. There's no reason for him to be thinking this bullshit thoughts. So I've got an email where I'm going to go from him, obviously. I'm going to go through it and point out some things because it's his perception of how he's perceiving himself. And what's interesting is the picture that he sent, he's not smiling. He doesn't look very happy. So, I mean, if I can see that in his picture, obviously that's how he's coming off to everybody around him. He's not happy. He's not enjoying himself. He doesn't think he has anything to offer anybody. Think about it. Why would a pretty girl who's happy and who loves her life and who's smiling all the time, why would she want to hang out with the guy who's always got a fucking scowl on his face? Think about it. I mean, it's common sense, but... So I got a quote that I wrote, and I'm going to go through his email. And the quote says, "However you perceive yourself is how you are going to cause other people to perceive you. When you believe that you are ugly, unattractive, or that members of the opposite sex in general will find you too undesirable to date, you will actually seek out people who find you unattractive and who don't like you, because this matches and mirrors your inner world and how you view yourself. You literally will steer yourself away from people who like, value, and accept you the way you are. Like attracts like. Water seeks its own level. Seek out people who share the same goals, values, hobbies, and interests. People who like the same things tend to like each other. If you spend your time with people who don't share the same values and interests, this will create a lot of friction and resistance. Those relationships will also take a lot of energy and suppression of your true personality and identity to maintain. Spend your time with like-minded people who enthusiastically welcome and invite you into their lives, not those who merely tolerate you." And I'd say that's obviously part of what's going on in this guy's life is the people that he's hanging out with. I mean, he's hanging out with people that are just as unhappy and as unsuccessful with women as he is. Or maybe he's hanging out with people that don't really want him around, that don't really like him, and he doesn't have a lot of friends, so he tries to force himself into those people's lives. I mean, I did that when I was really young. I learned that lesson when I was in my teenage years. Like, I was my freshman in high school year. I was hanging out with some guys that really didn't want me there, and I was kind of inviting myself to be there and hang out with them. And after I hung out with them one time, they were just dicks to me. I thought, you know what? It's probably not a good idea to hang out with these fucking assholes anymore. And I stopped hanging out with them. And I started only hanging out with people who really wanted me there. But I still had a tendency to do that. And so I had to catch myself. And it wasn't until I got in my early 20s that I really was... if people were a dick to me or didn't want me around, I was like, fuck you. I'm not hanging around with you. Because I knew I was a cool guy. I was fun. I was funny. I wasn't that successful with women at the time, obviously. But people liked me and wanted to be around me. And I liked being around people that wanted me there and wanted to have fun with me. So he says, "Hey, Corey, I enjoy watching your videos, and I've read your book once." Why only once, dude? 10 to 15 times, bro. I mean, the book is like, the paperback version about 260-something pages. So you basically learned about 26 pages, 25 pages if you're lucky. Because each time we go through something, we're only going to gain 8 to 10% of it each time we go through it. And so right off the bat, that's part of your fucking problem is you don't know the fundamentals. You can't read the book once and think your life's going to dramatically change. It's like you're focused on the quick fix. You got to read the book 10 to 15 times. You got to get out there and practice and apply what you're learning. You can't just read the book and think that women are going to be kicking your fucking door down, tearing your clothes off, and wanting to screw your brains out. It doesn't work that way. You got to become the kind of guy that women want to be around. You got to have the kind of people in your life who like and value and build you up even when you're not there. Not the type of friends that will cock block you and screw up your chances with a girl because they're fucking ruthless. You shouldn't hang out with those kinds of people. He says, "I sincerely thank you for the free knowledge you share with us all. I'm 23 years old and never had a girlfriend and feel like I've hit rock bottom." Seriously, dude, you're fucking 23 years old. You hit rock bottom, you're 23. You don't know what you don't know yet. I didn't have my first real serious girlfriend. I met her when I was 24. This is the one that eventually became my wife, and we became exclusive right around the time of my 25th birthday. And up until that point, sex was kind of like a hit or miss, intermittent kind of thing. So it was like the first time in my life I was getting steady pussy, basically. And it was great. I mean, like I said, I was like almost 25 years old. I mean, I had several of my friends that had several girlfriends and had slept with dozens of women at that point. And so I was like, finally, I got somebody that really loved me and really cared about me. And what was interesting is like, I did most of the things right. I liked her a lot, but I wasn't crazy in love with her. She was way more into me than I was into her, and therefore she made it really easy for me. So he says, I have such a hard time picking up girls because I'm not the greatest looking guy. So that's the story that you tell yourself. So what that tells me is you probably don't talk to a lot of women. You probably don't approach a lot of women because you say, oh, I'm not a good looking guy. She's probably not going to like me. And you go up to a really pretty girl who's ignoring you and not even looking at you, probably won't even make eye contact, and you hit on her, and she shoots you down, and then you walk away like, see? Another pretty girl that I like that doesn't like me. I mean, those are the kind of things that I used to do. I used to believe the same bullshit. I used to tell myself, oh, I must not be that attractive. I must be ugly. I had a girl I had a crush on when I was in middle school. I think it was either 7th or 8th grade. And one of my friends said, yeah, she said she couldn't bear to look at you. I was like, what? I was stunned. He was just fucking with me. I didn't find this out till years later. But I thought he was serious. And it was devastating to me. I was like, I'm totally in love with this girl, and she can't bear to look at me? What? And I believed that for a lot of years. But it was bullshit. I mean, I'm not the best looking guy. I'm just an average looking dude. But I like really beautiful women, and some really beautiful women really like me. Most of them don't, but it's a numbers game. And I can tell with your mindset, and the fact you've only read the book once, it's like you're not asking out enough women. Here's the numbers. I've said it before in videos. If you ask out 100 different women, about 10 to 12 of them will go out with you. And if you follow what I teach in the book, about 3 to 5 of them are going to sleep with you on average. That's just what the numbers work out to be. So if you go to the mall, because that's one of the best places where there's lots of beautiful, attractive women, whether they're either working there or shopping in the mall, or it could be a trade show, it could be a beer festival, like whatever. Some place where there's lots of people. There's literally thousands of people. And like every city has malls. Because, I mean, sometimes in the winter, the weather, even when the weather sucks, you can go to the mall and it's just fucking packed. And so there's a lot of cannon fodder there. It's a target-rich environment. And if you go for 2 to 3 hours on a Saturday and 2 to 3 hours on a Sunday, each time you go, you can ask out 10 to 12 different women. It's simple. So if you go on Saturday and Sunday, each for 2 to 3 hours at a time, you can knock out 25 women a week. That means asking them out. And these are women that make eye contact and smile at you. It's a numbers game. Just do it. You got to do. So if you do that over the course of 4 weeks, you get to 100. It's like you're 23, dude. You don't know shit. You don't know nothing. I mean, by the time I was your age, I'd hit on hundreds of women. I got shot down almost 100% of the time. It was like 99.99%. My game was terrible. My body language, my physiology, it's like I didn't believe in myself, but I fucking still did it anyways. I was always partying a lot back then. Got a few beers in me, I was like, fuck it. Somebody's got to say yes eventually. And sometimes they did. But most of the time they didn't. You're going to get rejected most of the fucking time. That's the reality. You figure, think about it. 10 to 12 out of 100 will go out with you. You're literally failing 80 to 90% of the time. That's baseline. That's a given. 80 to 90% of the time, you're going to fail. You're only going to succeed 10 or 12% of the time. And out of those, only 3 to 5% are going to sleep with you. So if you're looking at it from that perspective, you ask out 100 women, you're only going to sleep with 3 to 5% of them. Those are pretty low numbers. But it's what it is. It's a numbers game. You're just not approaching and talking to enough women. You got to practice this stuff over and over and over. You read the book once, you haven't even begun to know the information well enough. I did a video a few years ago called Improving Your Social Skills. I think it's like 12 minutes long. It's under the Essential Fundamentals tab on my YouTube channel. Watch that fucking video 2-3 times and then go to the mall and do exactly what it says. Keep a log of all the women that you approach and what the results are. When you think about the mall, there's always a coffee shop there. I mean, you get to the point where you feel comfortable, you say, hey, would you care to join me for a cup of coffee or for a few minutes? It's really simple. You sit down, you have a great conversation. Hey, I'm having so much fun. You want to join me for dinner? I mean, that's how it happens. When there's chemistry, when you really like her and she really likes you, and it's flowing, it's effortless, you find out you got all kinds of interesting things in common, it's pretty easy and effortless. Like attracts like. Let me think about it. All the water on the planet, isn't it interesting how it all seems to congregate? Congregates in ponds, lakes, oceans. You know, it's not like it sticks to rooftops or like stuck to the walls of your house or think about it. Water is attracted to other water. It just happens that way. Like attracts like. Go where you're wanted. Go where you're invited. It's like when it comes to approaching women, ask out the women who look you in the eye, smile, and they'll make eye contact with you. When a woman looks you in the eye and smiles, it usually means she's single and she likes what she sees. Most women, they'll walk right by you like you're not even fucking there. He says, I have such a hard time picking up girls because I'm not the greatest looking guy. I had previous women interested in me, which proves that I have potential, but it's rarely there, and my only chance is to run into that 1 out of a million who will give me a shot. So this is what you tell yourself, and this is a story that you tell yourself from not having to take any action at all. You may have asked out 1 woman or 2 women a month or 2 ago, and you're like, oh, see, it just reinforces my belief that I'm too ugly. You got to ask out 100, and you're going to fail 88 to 90% of the time. That's the numbers, dude. Have you dealt with ugly people before? Dude, you're not ugly. I'm sorry. I know that's your story and you're all committed to it, but it's fucking bullshit. You're a decent, good-looking dude. There's no reason for you not to be getting your brains fucked out. The only person that's preventing you from getting your brains fucked out is you. Is that sad fucking look you got in the face and the fact you're not doing anything to help yourself. You have to take action. You must participate in your own rescue. It's like the Buddha said, faith without action is meaningless. You can watch all the videos and read my book 1,000 times, but if you don't talk to women and interact with them and ask women out, it's fucking pointless. He says, I'm not a slob. I buy expensive clothing that fits me properly, and I work out a lot because it's my hobby. The only downside is I can really imagine is how I look and the fact that I'm only 5'6" to 5'7" feet tall, which is short for a guy. So what? I had a buddy of mine, he was a gymnast. He was a decent looking guy, and he was like 5'5", 5'6". He was in really great shape, always smiling, great personality. He dated lots of beautiful girls, but you know what? He liked fat women. He ended up marrying a girl that was fat. He fucking loved it. We were talking about sex one time, and he was like talking about how he just fucking a fat girl doggy style and just the ripples in her body, or her fat rolls, and he just talking about how it turned him on. I'm thinking, this guy was a gymnast. He was a fucking unbelievable shape, handsome guy. He could have been a model. That was his fucking thing. I mean, whatever, whatever blows your skirt up. He says, honestly, I don't really know what to do anymore. Take action. Ask out 100 different women over the next 30 days. That's your mission, if you choose to accept it. You gotta put your fucking big boy pants on and be a fucking man for a change. When I talk to women, I joke freely and I make most of them laugh. Great. Do more of that. But ask them out. Go to the mall and practice. 25 a week. Sometimes they turn red because they can't stop laughing. The biggest tool I have is humor because I used to watch so much comedy and stand-up, it just grew on me. That's a great skill to develop. You participate what you observe. What you observe, you participate in. You watch a lot of comedy, you pick up a lot. It's like people always tell me how funny I am in like the comments, and I have some great one-liners. So, you know what? I learned those all from other people that were really funny. I watched them deliver them, and I watched how everybody reacted. And guess what? I memorized them, and I deliver the same fucking things. It's not because I have a great sense of humor. I learned from other people. They were fucking funny. And I repeat the same things they do, and I get the same results. Model the success of other people. So it's great that you're modeling the success of comedians. You can keep people laughing. He says, unfortunately, I've been so miserable that the happy and hilarious guy everyone knew me for is fading away. No, he's not. You ain't fading nowhere, dude. You're just choosing not to bring that guy with you. You're choosing to feel sad and sorry for yourself, and you don't talk to anybody. You don't ask any women out, and therefore nothing changes in your life. And it becomes it's like a downward spiral. You get what you focus on in life. So you should focus on asking out 100 different women over the next month. And keep asking out women until you get enough women in your life that are going out with you, and you get enough experience dating women and taking them through the seduction process so you can actually start getting laid. and realize it's really not a big deal. It's all in your fucking head. It's just a story. The reason why you don't have what you want is a story you've been telling yourself. I've been pointing it out all throughout the video here. And you made up a really good bullshit story, and it's having an effect, but the only reason is you're letting it. You're not doing anything to help yourself. He says, which is bad because my key feature is humor, and if that goes, then I'm done for. I know this is too long for you, but I need to explain. I don't know what to do, man. I don't know what it is about me, and it can't be totally my looks. Well, that is definitely an honest statement. It isn't your looks. It's how you're showing up. It's the fact that you're not really enjoying yourself. You're not really happy. So you think a girl wants to go out with a guy that looks like he's miserable? You got to get to the point where it doesn't bother you. You got to get to the point where asking a girl out is like ordering a Happy Meal. It's like breathing. It's like blinking your eyes, your eyelids. Until it gets that easy and it doesn't bother you anymore. And I mean, because even when you get rejected, you should walk away and like, yeah, I put my fucking nuts in the chopping block, even though she chopped them off. Fuck it. At least I know she doesn't like me. You got to get through the no's in order to get to a yes. All you need is one good one to say yes. There's 7 billion people on this planet, and half of them are women. You could ask out women all day, every day for the rest of your life and still not be able to ask out all the women that you could go out with. Think about that. It must be something I portray subconsciously. I'm really stumped, dude. So, like I said, you need to take action. You need to be reading the book. You need to practice. Repetition is the mother of skill. If you're not asking out 25 different women per week, and I'm not talking about bitching out and going to Facebook and sending creepy Facebook messages to women on there because it's easy. I mean, I want you to do it in fucking person. Get off your fucking ass, get out of your house, put your fucking video game console down, and go out and participate in the world. That's what you need to do. Go hang out with people that are doing the same kinds of things that you're into, and you'll meet other like-minded people. Go to the mall and fucking practice. 25 women per week. Ask out 100 women per month. And keep asking out 100 women per month until your dance card is so full you don't know how to fit in all the girls that want to go out with you that are calling you and texting your phone going, oh, I miss you. I can't wait to see you. So if you'd like to get my help personally, the quickest way is to book a paid phone, Skype, or email coaching session with yours truly. You can choose any of those options by going to my website, clicking the products tab at the top of your screen, and just follow the instructions for booking whichever option works best for you. And I will talk to you soon.